Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ask for a moment of silence, please. Okay, if anybody's got any phones, if you'd silence them, I'd appreciate it. I want to welcome everybody here. Everybody's watching or will be watching. Start roll call. Today I'm going to start with Commissioner Cos.
Here.
I'm here. Commissioner Smith.
Here.
Mr. Stevens.
Here.
Mr. Culberson.
Here.
Right. Public comment. We have a couple at the end of the meeting. We don't have any in the beginning, so I'll move that right along. Administrative business. Mark, do you have anything for us? I know we got Janet needs to speak to us.
That's all I have.
Go ahead, young lady.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, another successful election in Leavenworth County, and we had around a 50% turnout, which was actually a little more than I thought.
Yeah.
But I think it was successful. All of our election workers did a great job. Our staff. I'd like to thank all the Leavenworth County employees that help us deliver machines, do all of that. Just couldn't do it without everybody. Building and grounds. So, but this morning, we're here to draw precincts for the mandatory audit that every county in Kansas has to do. We'll do 4 races. We'll do a federal race, a state race, a county race, and a race on the constitutional amendment questions. There's an order that we're given to proceed with a county race, and that would be 1st District County Commissioner. So even though Jeff did not have any opposition on the ballot, we will audit one of his precincts, and that's really just to determine that the machines all counted correctly. So, Jeff, you want to come down and pick one of yours?
Come on down.
Make it a good one, Jeff.
Let's see. We are going to audit Kickapoo. Oh.
Yeah.
One of our biggest ones out in the county, so thank you, Jeff.
That figures.
Well, there you go.
So these other ones, I'll just let our chairman draw. So I'll just come up to Chairman Smith and have him pick 3 more precincts for us.
Go ahead and do the rest of the way.
Yeah, go ahead. We've got Delaware 1 that we're going to do. 1st Precinct, 5th Ward, and Reno East. So we'll do the federal race, the state race, and the constitutional amendment in these 3 precincts. So, does anybody have? Yes.
You got one little one there. Reno East.
Does anyone have any questions?
No.
All right.
Thank you.
We will perform the audit on Monday. It is open to the public. We have independent boards coming in to manually count each one of the precincts that we chose. The races are supplied to us by the Secretary of State's office, so it's very random, and we will know those probably before 5 o'clock tonight. So thanks again. Thanks for all of your support.
In this room?
What?
Is this held here in this room?
We'll hold it in we'll hold it here, and we'll probably hold it down in the conference room, or Sometimes, if the conference room's busy, we've used Bill's conference room in the Road and Bridge Department. But one of them will be up here.
Okay.
And they'll both be starting Monday at 9 o'clock in the morning.
So just for the newspaper, just to underline this, every county in the state is doing an audit, and they're auditing 4 or 5 races and then picking these precincts, and they're counting the ballots by hand, making sure they match what the machine says.
That is correct. That includes the advance and election day.
So that makes sure we have integrity in our elections.
That is correct. That is right. And Leavenworth County has been 100% successful in all the audits that we have done. But we do a lot of work before the elections, a lot of testing, and so I feel I'm not a bit nervous about it. I think it will be.
You might want to fly out to Arizona and help them. I hear they.
Well, Mark and I were talking about that this morning.
One of the first things the blokes. Hey, we appreciate it, what you do.
Yeah, thank you and your volunteers, Janet and the staff.
Thank you very,
Thank
very
you.
much. I appreciate all the support that you guys show me in my office.
Well, your staff and you and
Yeah,
your volunteers are
volunteers.
amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks.
Thank you.
very,
Thank
very
you.
much.
Okay, Mark, did you have anything else? Commissioners, anybody want to on administrative business?
No, sir.
Hey, on the thank Jeff, are you driving Veterans Day?
Yeah,
And
I'll
what
have
time do
it.
you want to speed up here?
Parade's at 10:30, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get the staging instructions yet, but usually it's around 9. So
I think 9:30. Last time I think we
9:30.
had 9:30, we had plenty of time.
okay.
Okay.
So I'll be out here in the parking lot before 9.
In Old Blue?
Old Blue
We got the
one of those too.
decorations.
I got one of those too. Yeah.
with blankets.
Your hats and gloves.
We've got our
With blankets.
decorations.
Supposed to be 25 degrees parade
I'm in the
time,
cab
so-
this time, or you guys have to call you about, so we're fine, okay? All righty, Commissioner, anything else? Okay, if not, Mickey, do you have
Did you
some-
need to remove
Yeah,
everything?
yeah, for
I'm
the
getting ready to
consent
go.
agenda.
Okay, any item on the consent agenda that needs to be pulled?
I'd like to check registry pulled.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the consent agenda minus check registry.
Second, any more discussion? Mr. Cos?
Aye.
Aye. Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Commissioner Stephen?
Aye.
Mr. Culberson?
Aye. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to accept the check registry section of the consent agenda as presented.
Second?
Motion and second. Any discussion? Mr. Cos?
Aye.
Smith? Aye. Commissioner Smith?
Abstain.
Commissioner Stephen?
Aye.
Commissioner Culberson?
Aye.
Okay, very good. Moving on. Formal board action. Consider a motion to accept the recommendation from Public Works to list surplus equipment on Purple Wave as presented. Good morning, Bill.
Morning, Commissioners. Today, for your consideration, we do have the list provided of the surplus equipment that we wish to place on Purple Wave as auction items. We're hopeful to get those on here before the end of the year and have another successful sale. All of the equipment has either been previously replaced or is soon to be delivered, and we did not have these as trade-ins. None of this equipment is used on a regular basis. A lot of it, the reason we're trying to move it forward is we feel that we have a possibility of getting a little bit more money out of it, and it has been basically decommissioned based upon either breakdowns or safety issues, so it's just sitting.
Any comments, Commissioners?
No.
No.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the recommendation from Public Works to list the surplus equipment on Purple Wave as presented.
Second.
Motion and second. Any more discussion? Commissioner Cos?
Aye.
I vote aye. Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Commissioner Stephen?
Aye.
Commissioner Culberson?
Aye.
Okay. Item B, consider a motion to approve the annual agreement to treat noxious weeds on state highway right-of-ways in the county.
So this is an annual review of the noxious weed contract with KDOT. The cost of chemicals is not included in this. Obviously, the cost of chemicals has gone up a lot and continues to fluctuate. And so that is not a part of this agreement. So just setting that aside, we will charge them for whatever chemicals we do use and in the amounts that we use them. The county does agree to submit an itemized bill for the cost of the chemicals and the hours spent. And we did increase the cost of labor by $8 an hour and $7 an hour for the equipment to better reflect the cost of our true costs. I think that it had historically been kept pretty low, and it needed to cover the cost of both the employee hours and their benefits, and obviously the cost of machinery has gone up considerably with inflation. So I think we will see continued yearly increases where I think we've held this, from my research, at a pretty level cost over the past 4 or 5 years.
So what if KDOT doesn't accept your rates? They do it themselves?
They can, I suppose. I was going to say, I don't know.
Their option.
I don't know if they will or will not, but I think from discussions with Alan, a lot of people are raising their rates, so it's not, I don't know that our rates are any different than a lot of other rates, but I guess if they do that, we can have that discussion at the time. At some point, we could easily justify the rates that we put down here based upon the cost of these things. And so if they don't want Leavenworth County to subsidize KDOT, then they need to pay the actual costs of these things. And if they don't want to pay the actual costs, I guess we'll be back in front of the board to have that discussion.
Okay. Now, is there a FEMA rate that could be used? There's probably not. Is there a FEMA rate for sprayers and stuff?
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm not either.
I don't recall any FEMA rates because you wouldn't use those generally as part of a disaster declaration. So I don't know that we have FEMA rates to apply to the machinery. But we do have depreciation schedules, and that's probably what I would refer to as our depreciation costs.
Okay.
Commissioners, anybody else? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the annual agreement to treat noxious weeds on state highway right-of-way in the county.
Second.
Motion and second. Any more discussion? Commissioner Collins?
Aye.
Aye. Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Commissioner Stephen?
Aye.
Mr. Coulson?
Aye.
All right, very good. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Okay, presentations. We have two. Nancy Carpenter? Good morning.
Good morning. Nancy Carpenter, 14681 Crider Road, Bonner Springs, Kansas. I was very appreciative of Mr. Van Peer's words of guidance to you last week at the SUP work session, saying that you should scrutinize every SUP not only on its surface, but for problems it has the potential to create in the future. He repeated the need for scrutiny numerous times and made it clear that you are not to just rubber stamp SUP requests. I'd like to suggest a few things that I think warrant extra scrutiny as SUP applications come your way. I hope that these items are already on your checklist as you consider proposals, but I feel that it's important to say them aloud. In unincorporated areas of the county, legally, only property owners within 1,000 feet of a proposed SUP site need to be notified of the project. That should not mean that they are the only folks who matter in that decision-making process. A proposed project may well diminish the health, safety, or welfare of the residents outside the 1,000-foot bubble, perhaps along the roads that a business will use to transport their products, perhaps in the neighboring towns and counties where a business has its base of operation. If a project promises to span multiple jurisdictions, it seems wise that you would reach out to those jurisdictions and at least consider them in your musings. Is it acceptable to say that a landowner should be able to do anything they want to their land without any regard to the fact that they're part of a larger community? During the SUP work session, Commissioner Cause reminded everyone that past behavior is often an accurate predictor of future behavior. With this in mind, as you review SUP proposals, what past behaviors might you want to consider? I suggest that the quality of the actual application is a valid starting point. If it is riddled with inconsistencies and questionable reports, what does that say about the applicant's concern for accuracy and truthfulness? If an applicant has a history of tax delinquencies and safety violations in their given field, you should think twice about embracing them as a business that is good for the county. If citizens show concern about an SUP proposal and the applicant does nothing to address those concerns, what are the odds that they will prove to be a good neighbor if an SUP is granted? An analysis of an SUP of how an SUP will economically benefit the county should be a part of any large-scale SUP proposal. If a proposal promises new jobs, will that mean 10, 100, 1,000, or perhaps just 3? Does the promised job growth provide ample new opportunities for the citizenry? If a proposal promises tax revenue, will that mean a windfall of property tax revenue collected from the business? Will that windfall surpass the loss in property taxes from residents as their property values may well diminish in the case of an unfavorable business practice? Will Leavenworth County reap great tax revenue, sales tax revenue, as the business sells its products? Or will tax revenue only benefit the county where the business has its point of sale? What is the standard to be used as you call out Leavenworth County is open for business? On November 30th, you will look at the issue of a Kaw Valley SUP. At this moment in time, Kaw Valley does not have an SUP to quarry sand in southern Leavenworth County. If they wish to be considered for one, I ask that you follow Mr. Van Peer's guidance and scrutinize its application carefully. Much has changed since Kaw Valley originally approached the county about an SUP in October of 2018. A detailed traffic impact policy was adopted in February of 2021. For the past year or so, the Planning Commission, or the Planning and Zoning staff, has had a policy of recommending denial of SUPs to the Planning Commission, with what I trust is a detailed critique. The BOCC membership has changed. Documents provided by Kaw Valley are outdated and inaccurate. Permits may have expired. So many things. Yes, the clock is rewound to July of 2020, but you would be derelict in your service to your citizens if you do not demand that, if Kaw Valley wishes to be granted an SUP to quarry sand in southern Leavenworth County, they must start the application process anew with absolutely no cost to the taxpayers of Leavenworth County. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Okay, Mr. Reynolds, good morning.
Raymond Reynolds, 25701 Donahue Road. What I want to show the commission today is, I'll start with the work session last week when Planning and Zoning said, if you advertise on Facebook and you sell a product and customers come to your house and you make a profit from it, that you need a SUP. Now I'll start with the Department of Revenue. The Department of Revenue said, if you buy items at a garage sale or other places and you repurpose them and you sell them, it's a business. And what I'm going to show you today, I have a packet of one of your own commissioners running a business.
No.
We're not going to discuss any personal.
Vicky,
I didn't mention anyone's names.
Mr. Reynolds, no. But let me tell you one thing about me being chair. We're not going to sell elected. We're not going to sell citizens. We're not going to sell staff. If you want to give us some guidance on what you think to make it work better, I'm all for that, but I'm not going to have anybody, whether they're elected or not, be toned out in a meeting like this. I think you made it pretty clear on what you said. Well, I understand that, and I agree. You need to take steps, but I'm not going to call anybody out by name at this meeting.
I'm not either. I'm just saying that it is a business being ran in the county, and they're charging cash only, not charging sales tax. And they mention sales tax every single meeting, and I will go ahead and stop right there.
Well,
but I do have the packet if you guys would like to see it.
I got it. I think I know where you're going with that, and this is not the place for it. There's places that you can do that and have things looked into, and I'd suggest, Raymond, you do it that way.
I will.
Okay. Thank you for your time. Angie, you feel any better? Okay. All right. Just the public comment. Let me see what else we got here. We're going to start with Ms. Cos. Don't look at me like that. It's your turn.
That was just a little bit unsettling.
Yeah.
Let's see. I had a KCATA meeting last week. Three KCATA meetings
I'm proud of you.
last week, and then had another one this weekend for a strategic planning meeting, but that's it for this week.
That's enough. Thank you. Okay, I just had one. I saw Mark there turning the LCDC VIP meeting out in Baser. It's quite well. A lot of folks there. I guess what I'm trying to say, and got to talk to some other people. It was a good event. Got a couple of Lansing meetings coming up that I've got to make sure I'm at. Council meetings. That's about all I had, Doug.
Just got Baser City Council tonight, and then, of course, the transportation meeting tomorrow night at Baser.
Yeah. Right. That's right.
And then we have.
And then you got the transportation tonight at Lansing, correct?
That's right.
Okay, there's 2 meetings on that.
Remind people.
People,
that we're
please
gonna do
give us.
diversions.
Yeah, we get those times and stuff out. Please give us your input on that. That's what it's there for.
Like 5 to 7?
Yeah.
5 o'clock to 7.
Downstairs. Community Center. Anything else, Doug?
No, sir.
Okay, Mike.
Oh, Veterans Day Parade.
Yeah. You set that for Friday. And Jeff, oh, blue. Okay. Mike.
Not this week.
Not this week. Okay, then I'll go to Jeff.
I just wanted to reiterate that we're having the regional transportation study open to the public forum meetings. Tonight is Lansing City, 5 to 7. Tomorrow night is Baser. So this is where everybody who's been harping at me for the last 3 years to get this 152 bridge accomplished, this is where you need to show up and let them know that you wish that to be
That's a fact.
priority.
That's how we get things done.
Yep. So it's very important to show up tonight in Lansing. At
What
that
time is
meeting.
it?
5 to 7
5
at
to 7.
City Hall downstairs.
Community Center.
Yeah,
There'll be
underneath.
several
underneath City
projects
Hall.
rated.
And
Yeah,
I
they're
did emphasize the need to have the Transit Authority participate in our regional planning process. So they do have a representative who is attending the meetings. So.
All the county commissioners, we can't say it enough how important this is for people to show up and give us your input on this, because this is going to be our guidance. I mean, it's like when you do a comprehensive plan. If you don't show up and tell us, then we're going to pass things without us hearing what you want us to hear. So please, it's a little time. It's nothing formal. Just come in and ask questions and look around, and please give us your input back. Jeff, do you have anything else?
And that's it.
Mark,
Can I
Jimmy?
just add one thing?
Alibi.
I talked to, last night at the event, the Republican event, I talked to a former legislator, and he told me that Leavenworth County having this regional transportation study is going to put us way in advance on getting projects, and he's on a committee with KDOT. So we are right following we are following the right path on this transportation study.
And we got everybody involved. That's the key.
So
Okay.
Well, I hope so, because it seems like we've been missing out on a lot of funding.
Especially big dollar funding.
I mean, for this area, northeast Kansas, I really think we should be receiving more funding from
I
KDOT.
agree.
Yeah. We tend to share that with them, even when I was down in Lansing.
We have more rejection letters than we do awards.
Look at the file. Mike, do you have anything else?
That's it.
Okay. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion, second, Commissioner Collins?
Aye.
I vote aye. Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Commissioner Stephen?
Aye.
Commissioner Culberson?
Aye.
I'll see y'all Friday.